النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك النكاح من سنتي ما قال النبي هو الصحيح نكاح مبارك
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome, brothers and sisters, to this episode in the series Marriage and Divorce with myself and Sheikh Haitham Al Haddad, who currently resides in the UK and is on the board of the Islamic Sharia Council of Britain. He's also the founding member of the website www.islam21c.com. In our previous episode, we started to touch on the topic of mutual conditions which can be discussed when it comes to the nikah. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
We ended the last episode talking about the condition where a wife might say, if I marry you, I want you to divorce your first wife. And you mentioned that this is not allowed. You then went on to say that if the wife says, I do not want you to get married again in the future, you said this is allowed and binding.
Yes. Okay. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salam ala Rasulillah. This is an interesting discussion. So we differentiated between both cases or both scenarios. In the second scenario, the wife made it clear. In fact, she made it a condition, for a marriage, that she doesn't want him to marry another wife. Now, as we said last time, I remember we stopped when we said, but there is a very important point, which is what? She has to write this in the contract, itself. Sisters, listen to this. Many of you make these common mistakes, and many of the awliya, the fathers, make these mistakes. They come and they said, we agreed with this man to marry our daughter under the condition that he does not marry another lady. And now he got married to another lady. We want you to invalidate the nikah. My daughter cannot handle it. The father said, my daughter, look at her now, ask her. She cannot handle it. And she said, we have taken this condition upon him and he broke the condition. We want to invalidate the marriage. Okay. When did you take this? Have you taken this condition? Yes. We asked the husband. He said, no, it was not a condition. Are you sure? No, it was not a condition. We will ask them, me as a judge, for example, in the Islamic Sharia Council, I will ask them, okay, can you prove it? What do you mean? Prove it.
They say, we talked about it.
They say, exactly. They will say, we spoke about it. Okay, but the husband is saying that it was not a condition. Yes, we did talk about it, but that was a discussion, as we all discuss things before any marriage. It was not a condition. No, it was a condition. No, it was not a dispute. Can you prove it? Do you have it in the contract? No, we don't have it. Why didn't you write it? No, we thought that we don't need to write it.
In this case, do witnesses come into it?
If there were witnesses, and they confirmed that that was taken in the contract itself, then it is binding.
Even if there's nothing written?
Even if there is nothing written, because khalas. Okay, there were two witnesses, and two witnesses will be enough. Of course, we will ask, why didn't you write it?
You need to do some investigation.
Yes, we need to do some investigation, obviously, yeah. But if the investigation came confirmed that they did not write it, then it is not binding. And this is a very common issue, very common problem. There are many conditions. So we mentioned this example. I'll mention other examples and how people make mistakes in them. One of the very common mistakes, again, is the wife said, I don't want to live with your mother or with your parents. I want my own house, even if it is a flat, a studio flat. Do you accept this? And he says, yes, I do accept this. I'm not going to live with my parents. Okay? put it in writing. Put it in the contract itself. If you don't put it in the contract itself, then don't say, well, why did the judge ignore it? Because you could not prove it. Yeah? So this is another example.
To do with conditions, for example, that, for me, certain conditions don't always make sense because, like we talked about, if a future wife wants a condition where she limits the chance of him marrying again, this is a right from Allah that He has given the man.
Yeah.
So is she able to take that right away?
No, she's not taking the right away, because taking the right, okay, taking the right away means that in all circumstances. She said, if you want to marry me, okay, otherwise, ya akhi, go and marry any other lady. Anyway, any lady who wants to accept this, it is up to her. Okay, I'm not taking any right that Allah Jalla wa Ala has granted you. Yeah, is it clear? And by the way, as you mentioned this, many brothers do agree to this condition, yeah, because they are eager to get married. 10 years down the line, as I always say, and maybe this is a shocking news to our married sisters, that I don't know of any brother who has reached the age of 30, been married for 10 years plus, except he wished to marry another lady. Or let me see, most 90% maybe of the brothers who been married for 10 years, they wish to marry another lady. But the difference is what? Some of them have the courage to do it. Some of them, they don't have the courage to do it. Some of them, they don't want to upset their wives. Some of them, they don't want headache. Okay. A different reason. So the brother, I advise brothers, don't say that I will not marry again, because you don't know what will happen again. Yeah? I have an odd case that they found that she doesn't bear children. He wants to marry again. She said, no, you have taken a condition not to marry. He doesn't want to divorce her because they were cousins in that particular case, and they have some good, they have good marriage in general. But he said, this is a problem now. She doesn't conceive. She says that she doesn't want me to marry again. That was taken a condition. She said that if I marry again, then she has the right for divorce. Then what shall I do? I said, it was your fault. It was your fault. What shall I do? I said to him, now you are on a cross road, as they say. Either to divorce her, yeah, in order to marry another lady, and maybe you will get children or not. But just make sure that it is her problem, not your problem, because it might be his problem. Or you just sacrifice that. Now, don't tell me it is unfair. If I say to you, sacrifice the rest of your life without children, don't tell me unfair, because you are the one who accepted this condition upon you.
Yes, yes. You need to fulfill your condition.
You need to fulfill this condition. So don't tell me unfair. What can I do for you? Or divorce her. This is unfair on her. Don't ask me. Okay? Now, see, that's why I say to brothers in general, Akhi, don't take that condition. Don't accept that condition. Don't accept that condition.
Because you don't know what the future will bring.
Yes. And I advise sisters not to put that conditions on the brothers. Again, as you said, she is kind of violating, or she is kind of restricting what Allah Jalla wa Ala has given him. Yes, this is the best word.
And we have been given these for a reason.
Yes. By the way, subhanallah, I had a case, one of the recent cases, in fact. A brother and his wife came. He is very strange. They've been married for some time. They have children, beautiful family. The brother is committing zina frequently. Frequently. Not once, not twice, not 3 times. And the way he's conducting it or carrying zina is really very strange. Practicing, brother. So he said, I cannot live with one wife, etc., etc. Why don't you marry another wife? But he said, my wife took a condition upon me not to marry another wife. Okay, not a condition written in the contract, but they were discussing this. The wife herself, she said, Sheikh, I am giving up this condition. I don't want my husband to commit haram. Go and marry second wife, third wife. I will look for a wife for you. But don't commit haram. Yeah? She was very wise. She was very wise. But in the beginning of the marriage, yeah, don't do it. And as we are talking about, all the previous discussions that we had about the preparation of marriage, these discussions will help us to maintain a healthy marriage. These discussions will help us to summarize the coming discussion regarding how to fix your marriage. Yeah. So these are some examples. Okay?
Before we go for the break, could we possibly just quickly run through the summary again of the three types of conditions?
Yeah, conditions that cannot be fulfilled because they are the same or they lead to the same what the contract itself is leading to. And on the other side, conditions that go against the essence of the contract. And in between, conditions that can be mutually agreed. By the way, among the conditions, again, that might happen, and these conditions will help us to maintain healthy marriages, is the condition whereby the sister is saying, I cannot leave the country. Can she take this condition or not? She can. She might say, listen, my father is ill. I want to stay next to my father. Now we say to the husband, if you accept it, you have to honor it. The husband might say, well, I lost my job here, I found another job abroad. Yes, but you took the condition upon yourself. So go abroad by yourself. But this is my wife. This goes against the essence of the contract. No, in this case, it doesn't go against the essence of the contract. What goes against the essence of the contract, as we said, no sexual intimacy whatsoever. Yeah? By the way, there are some conditions that the husband will take on his wife.
Inshallah, we will talk about this in a couple of minutes.
Okay.
Brothers and sisters, please return where we will continue this discussion on the mutual conditions that can be imposed on the nikah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
النكاح من سنتي.
Where truth is hidden, misleading quotations create confusion. Where truth is hidden, lack of knowledge and wisdom cause upheaval and commotion. Where truth is hidden, manipulated scriptures and twisted facts emerge. This very hidden truth creates false propaganda, mayhem, chaos, disorder, and turmoil in our lives and the world order. But is there anyone with courage and wisdom? What is the truth, and who has the courage to expose it? Because it's your right to know the truth.
Watch truth prevail and lies perish in Truth Exposed by Dr. Zakir Naik.
Every Sunday to Friday at 9 p.m. and repeat telecast at 7:30 a.m. UK on Peace TV.
Most countries of the world ban bullying. They fight it in their schools and universities. A lot of us are being bullied differently every single day. Some come up to us and say, do this, while others say, don't you dare. Some say this is halal, while others say, nope, this is haram. Are you confused? Do you feel lost? Join me in Umdat al-Ahkam, where, with the grace of Allah, we will learn the proper knowledge from the Quran and from the Sunnah, which would help stop this kind of bullying.
Join Asim Al Hakim in Umdatul Ahkam, next on Peace TV.
النكاح من سنتي.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Welcome back, brothers and sisters, to this great discussion where myself and Sheikh Haitham are discussing the mutual conditions that can be put into the contract, Sheikh.
Yes.
You were mentioning something before we went for the break. You started to talk about the conditions that possibly the husband can put into the contract.
Oh, yes, yes. Okay, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. There are now many scenarios where the husband imposes certain conditions on the wife. Or they mutually agree, not imposing, but those conditions are in favor of the husband. Yeah? We mentioned that the conditions the wife can take on her husband. Now, conditions that the husband takes on his wife and maybe in his favor. Okay? And by the way, those conditions produced new scenarios of marriages that are discussed in fiqh councils. Yeah? And many PhDs were written about such new forms of marriage. For example, one new form of marriage that became common in Saudi Arabia in particular, then it spread to the Middle East, yeah, is called nikah al-misyar. Have you heard about it?
I've heard about it, but not in detail.
Interesting nikah, or zawaj al-misyar. What is zawaj al-misyar? The man comes to the lady, and he says to her, listen, I already have my wife, my children, I am happy with her, etc. But I need another wife, I need maybe to enjoy maybe more sexual relationship, or maybe I need more children. Yeah? Or she might come to him. Oh, we have so many cases, I have heard so many scenarios of she's telling him that, listen, you have your wife, you have your children, I just need children. I don't need a husband, I need a husband for the children. Do you agree with this or not? Okay? She needs the children. Obviously, we are Muslims. She cannot have children in any other way. Yeah? We are not like many non-Muslims who do not mind in having any kind of...
Lots of different ways these days.
Yeah? Or even medical or surrogacy. Yeah? We might discuss this issue of surrogacy. Surrogacy is not allowed if the lady is not married. Yeah? Surrogacy is not allowed if the lady is not married. Surrogacy is not allowed if the wife is going to take the sperm of a stranger other than the sperm of her husband. Yeah? So if she wants to be a mother, she has to be a mother through the legal Shari'i way. I remember discussing this issue with some brothers, and they said, Ya akhi, this marriage now is marriage for a benefit, not for mutual love and building a family. I said, Ya akhi, Islam finds solutions, Shari'i solutions for all the problems that we need, yeah, or the scenarios that we need, or the cases that we need. You are finding, or non-Muslims are finding solutions for a lady who wants to have children. So they thought of surrogacy, which is a form of zina. And when we suggest a solution, Shari'i solution, then you say, why marriage is considered to be like this? So the wife or the lady can go to the man and says to him that, listen, I am not interested in having sexual relationship or in having husband. All what I need is a child. So can we get married? You stay with your wife or you stay with your parents. I don't mind. Just come to me once a while. I want a child from you, and that's it. Is this allowed? It is allowed. If he says, okay, I don't mind, but I cannot maintain you. The recent OIC, the Fiqh Council, belongs to the Organization of Islamic Countries, they approved this.
But doesn't this go against...
Provided that the other conditions, which is the consent of the wali and the shuhud, are there, and the mahr.
But you mentioned, for example, in, I think, the first conditions of the mutual conditions that are able to be put, you said that if it goes against the original conditions of the aqd, for example, you cannot limit the sexual intimacy.
Yeah, she's not limiting it. She said, I don't need.
But if she says, I don't... Okay, so if she says, I don't need you to maintain me, that's different.
Yeah. Yeah, maintenance is different. يعني أسقطت حقها في النفقة هكذا يقول العلماء. Yeah, she dropped her right.
So as long as they both
Of
agree
maintenance.
to it.
Yes. Even if she dropped her right of, if she's a co-wife, she has the right of one night, okay, of half of the nights. If she's a co-wife, if she, there is another one co-wife. Yeah? If she says, I'm giving it up, I forgo my haqq. Yeah? Like the situation of Sauda, radiallahu ta'ala. You know Sauda? She was an old lady, the wife of the Prophet ﷺ, Sauda. We said that the Prophet ﷺ got married to Khadija. When Khadija passed away after some time, Khawla, the wife of his friend Uthman ibn Mad'un, she told him, Ya Rasulullah, why don't you marry? He said, who? Then she told him, there are two ladies. One is a virgin and one is previously married, and she's an old lady. The virgin one is who? Aisha. And the previously married one is Sauda. She was a very righteous lady, noble lady, etc., etc. She said, Ya Rasulullah, I know that I am an old lady. Yeah? I know that you love Aisha. She was a very noble lady. She said, I give my day to Aisha. So she gave up her right. Is that allowed or not? It is allowed. She might say, well, I don't need any maintenance. I will maintain myself. Can she do this? Yes. And most of the fiqh councils accepted such marriages, provided that the other conditions are fulfilled. Okay? Also, forms of secret marriages. Yeah? Whereby they say, well, listen, we get married, but we don't want to inform everyone. There was a valid marriage, the consent of the wali is there, there were two witnesses, yes, there was mahar, clear, valid marriage, but we don't want to announce it. Okay? Or take another form, which I promote, by the way, in the West. There are many scenarios where we have in colleges a brother and one of his colleagues, a sister. They might become attached to each other. We have so many cases where they fell in haram because of this. We say to them, no, get married. They might say, well, we are too young. We say, and it happened, one of my students was married when he was 16. Now, married Islamic marriage, not the legal marriage. The legal marriage, I think it has to be 18. Islamic marriage.
I think legal marriage these days, I think it's 18 or 16 with parents' consent.
With parents.
With the wali.
Yeah, with the wali. Yeah, so they have the wali principle. And sometimes they just criticize us. Anyway, so he got married when he was 16. And his friend, yeah, she was 16. And they got married. He stayed in his house with his parents, and she stayed with her parents. And I think that was a very good solution for the haram. They were meeting, they were having kind of maybe, love between a boy and a girl in a halal way. If it happened that she becomes pregnant, he's a legitimate child. I am presenting this to the parents. Go for this solution. Don't force your son to haram. You will be participating in the haram. Don't force your daughter to haram. Subhanallah, I'm comparing this scenario with the other scenario of that girl. Yeah, I think I mentioned it previously. She came to me pregnant. And she said, I knew a boy in the school. My parents refused him. Okay? And then I became pregnant.
That's a big problem.
It is a huge problem. It is a huge problem. And she was disowned by her family, disowned by everyone. Now she's living by herself. She thought previously of abortion, and now her father is saying, you shamed us. So many problems. What is better?
If only there was a marriage, none of this, there would be no problem.
Then the father will be happy, this is my daughter. Even if he is not happy, this child is a legitimate child. The daughter will not feel embarrassed to talk about the father of this person because he is the legitimate father.
Of course. And
so this is a solution.
And you create the family environment that is needed.
Yes, yes, yes.
Brothers and sisters, come back to us in the next episode where we shall continue to discuss the specific conditions that both parties might put into the nikah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
نكاح مبارك زواج مبارك